Okay, what's on the agenda this morning? Well, it's very early in the morning because it's going to get really hot today. I think for the next week or so, we're going to be hitting record temperatures. And the subject is a little bit, I think, hard because what I'm going to do is try to help you visualize the future. Now, I know there's fancy software and things like that can make it better for you, but not going to work because I'm technically challenged. So I'll have to stay with my normal format here, shooting with my tape version of the video camera effect, or the sunlight coming in through the door is on this olive. It will be changing as we get this program going. So this is Hiro saying, okay, we're going to try to explain how to visualize your future for your bonsai. There was quite an excitement for my recent posting, Goodbye Old Friend, my big olive. And I was looking, and I think if you go back 10, 15, maybe 20 years, this will be about what that one looked like. It has a massive root flare. It goes out here, and if we turn it a little bit more, there's one over here. So yes, this one is similar to that one got sold in terms of root flare. It's got a massive one. Saying to yourself, this is not the same as that big one, but the elements of the big root flare, movement, and taper is all in place. Okay. What you have to visualize on this is the container. So if we made it so that end of the pot was almost at the edge of the roof flare. And that was one of the things about that big tree that made it so striking, was it was in a relatively small pot for the size of the tree, and it was a unique round shape. I only had one of those, and it just worked together. Now, so if this was put in a smaller container so that the edge of this frame is about the edge of the pot, and it was relatively shallow. And these are olives, so they can do that and still stay healthy. Repot it, it'll be, that green marker will be the front. Or if I could find a suitable round pot might work too. But round pots are really difficult, and the reason for the success of that tree was everything came together, just the tree, the pot, and everything. Okay, asking yourself, why doesn't Hiro do that? Well, I may if I find the right pot, but this still could do a little more fattening or getting a thicker trunk and everything else, and being in this larger pot helps. So that's the part I wanted to share with you, how to visualize. Okay, so we'll get this into a container that's about that wide and let it go up. And hopefully we'll get it thicker. So I'm thinking another 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. 20 years to get to almost identical to that one. But I think another few more years and then we could put it in a small container, then this should do it. So that's what I was trying to teach today, was how to visualize going into a finish. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. And I think completed enough that it could go into a nice bonsai pot. So what I wanted you to visualize was if we put it into a bonsai pot that is that big. So the edge of this frame is about the edge of the pot and half the depth of this current container. Now, olives are really tough. So we could get it into the new container about that size that I just explained, and then this really should stand out. Now, you know, people go, wow, you know, with that size trunk, how can you get it into a small pot? Well, the formula is not the size of the trunk, it's amount of foliage. So for being a big trunk tree, there's not that much foliage on it, so that you can safely put it in a smaller container. So that's what I was thinking about on this one here. Is another one. I think in terms of stage of development, it's looking like it could probably go into a nice bonsai pot. Actually, I think this might be the front. This is one of those that in the past, I took the chisel and split it. That's how I get that rough look, but now it's starting to look very natural. Okay, so let's call this the front. I'll find a bonsai pot that is about that wide, and then as we go up, you'll make this tree look and feel so much bigger. So, in terms of the depth, probably, once again, about half the depth. And, well, I guess I could have changed it, but it's not always easy to find the right pot for the right tree at the right time, at the right price. So, anyway, I was thinking about people that reacted so much to that big olive that I sold the other day. I thought I better explain to you why that one had such a wide appeal. So visualize this in a smaller pot and shallower. That should complete this project. Okay, today's example, this is probably the least mature in terms of being complete. There's a lot of things that's still happening. For one, there's a big cut up here that still needs to be healed. And if this is the front, this branch should go. And then the transition from here to here is too abrupt. So this one has a lot more work, but at least I could give you examples. Okay, this one, like I said, is probably 4 or 5 years down the line before it's ready. It's still in that training stage, and I like to give it plenty of time for that wound to heal. And if you rush it, yeah, it's okay. It's nicely hidden from the front side, but it's still a pretty big wound. So it's better if you just wait it by letting it grow rapidly and trimming it and then growing it rapidly. But what I was going to show you was if you was ready to go, put it in a container that's about the edge of this frame, okay, and shallower, right? And then let it go up out of this little short chapter on visualizing the future of a bonsai. And well, like I said, I know there's technology out there to do this a little bit more digitally, but hey, I'm technically challenged. Okay, so I have equipment and I know the basics, but to get to that level, well, we will require so much effort, and I'm not sure whether I could ever master it. Besides, I think I'm finding out that most of you want to see a lot of my stuff. I went from every day to every other day, and I think I'm getting this subtle hint that I should go back to showing one every day. Well, if I'm spending hours and hours mastering how to digitize this concept, I will never get around to that. Plus the fact that, hey, all my trees are growing and the weeds are growing, so I'll just quit bitching it and let you go. So this has been Hero saying goodbye. I'll see you again in another chapter. So this was on how to visualize the future of your bonsai.